Decoded.
Hey there, fellow bookworms and knowledge seekers. Welcome to Book Decoded, where we crack open a new book and unearth those golden nuggets of wisdom. Today, we're diving into The Satvic Revolution by Subah and Harshvardhan Saraf,
Right.
a book that promises not just peak health, but peak joy, too.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want a slice of that?
It's fascinating how they blend ancient Indian wisdom with modern research.
Right.
It's like bridging the gap between time-tested traditions and the latest scientific finding. A perfect blend of East meets West.
Right. It's not just about ancient practices, but understanding why they work through a modern lens.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about these authors.
Right.
What's their story?
Well, Subah and Harshvardhan Saraf are health educators,
Okay.
but their journey to Satvic living is deeply personal.
Yeah.
They both battled chronic illnesses from a young age
Wow.
and found healing through this lifestyle. It's not just theoretical for them. They've lived it and experienced the transformation firsthand.
That's so inspiring. It's one thing to read about a concept,
Right.
but it's another to see it in action, to know that it's helped real people overcome real challenges.
Yeah.
And speaking of challenges,
Yeah.
the book starts with this intriguing 12-step health test.
Yes.
What's that all about?
It's not your typical health checkup focusing on weight and BMI.
Okay.
This test goes deeper,
Yeah.
looking at indicators like clear skin, high energy levels throughout the day, even experiencing genuine hunger as signs of well-being.
Wait, clear skin is a health indicator.
Yeah.
I thought that was more of a beauty thing.
It's both, actually.
Right.
The book explains that clear skin reflects a healthy gut and balanced internal state.
Oh,
It's like your body's way of saying, hey, things are running smoothly in here.
that's fascinating. It's like our bodies are constantly sending us signals,
Right.
and we just need to learn how to read them.
Uh-huh.
So besides skin, what other unusual indicators are there?
They emphasize deep sleep.
Okay.
It's not just about the number of hours.
It's about the quality of that rest.
Right.
Deep sleep is when our brains do a major cleanse,
Yeah.
removing toxins
Yeah.
and boosting cognitive function.
Wow.
The authors even say that consistently getting less than 5 hours of sleep significantly increases the risk of illness.
Wow, that's a powerful statement.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, I'm guilty of burning the midnight oil sometime. Maybe I need to rethink my sleep schedule.
We all could probably use a little more shut-eye.
Yeah.
But here's another indicator that really stood out to me.
Okay.
A joyful state of mind.
Okay.
They actually include frequent smiling and laughter as signs of good health.
That's so interesting. It makes sense, though, right?
Yeah.
When you're genuinely happy and enjoying life, it radiates outward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the authors link joy to healthy relationships,
Okay.
having a purpose in life, and living in alignment with your values.
Yeah.
It's about that inner sense of peace and contentment that we all crave. And they also talk about emotional stability as an indicator.
Yes.
Being able to let go of unpleasant experiences quickly,
Right.
not letting things get to you.
Yeah.
It's a sign of inner resilience.
Yes. That's a big one.
Yeah.
And the authors believe that by embracing the Satvic lifestyle, we can cultivate that inner strength and emotional balance.
So how does the Satvic lifestyle promote this kind of well-being?
Right.
Is there a secret ingredient?
They introduce this powerful concept called pranshakti.
Pranshakti. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Imagine a skilled doctor working tirelessly behind the scenes,
Okay.
constantly repairing, cleansing, and maintaining your body.
Yeah.
That's pranshakti,
Okay.
this incredible healing force within each of us.
Wow, that's a powerful image.
Yeah,
And I'm guessing the Satvic lifestyle helps us harness that power.
exactly. It's about creating the optimal conditions for our inner healer to do its best work.
Okay.
And one of the key ways they suggest we do this is through inner cleansing.
Inner cleansing. Does that involve weird detox teas or anything?
Not quite. The authors take a more fundamental approach.
Okay.
They recognize that modern life bombards us with toxins, and their solution is surprisingly simple.
Okay.
Early dinners.
Early dinners. I wouldn't exactly call that revolutionary.
It's not about the concept itself,
Okay.
but the reasoning behind it.
Okay.
By finishing dinner before 7 p.m.,
Uh-huh.
we give our bodies a much-needed break from digestion.
So it's like giving our internal systems a chance to catch up and do some deep cleaning while we sleep?
Right.
I like that.
Right. And they have this great analogy in the book.
Okay.
They compare the body to a road with a pothole.
Okay.
To fix it, you first need to stop the traffic, that constant flow of food,
Makes sense.
Makes sense, right?
Totally. Early dinners?
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah.
What's the next step in unleashing our inner Pranshakti?
Yeah. Habit number 2 is all about embracing living food.
Living food.
Think fresh, vibrant, and full of life.
Sounds intriguing. Tell me more.
Think of food in its most natural state.
Okay.
Whole, unrefined, bursting with prana, or life force.
Okay.
It's the kind of food that decays quickly because it's so fresh and alive.
Okay, I'm getting the picture.
Right.
Think of a ripe banana browning versus a preserved burger that seems to last forever.
Exactly.
One's teeming with life.
Yeah.
The other not so much.
Yeah, exactly. And they actually have a little test for living food.
Oh.
It should be farm to kitchen fresh and have a relatively short shelf life.
Okay.
Basically minimizing those processed foods that can sit on shelves for months and focusing on whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, sprouts.
Right.
All those good things.
Got it. So we're giving our systems a break with early dinners and filling up on living foods.
Yeah.
What else is on the Satvic menu?
Well, there are 2 sneaky culprits the authors want us to watch out for. Sugar and maida, which is refined white flour.
Yes, the usual suspects.
Right.
But they don't just tell us to avoid them. They really delve into the why.
Yeah,
Right.
they back it up with science.
For example, they talk about research showing that rats actually prefer sugar water over cocaine.
Really?
Crazy, right?
That's wild.
Yeah.
It really highlights how addictive sugar can be, hijacking our brain's reward system.
Yeah.
And what about maida?
Right.
What's the issue with refined flour?
Refined flour is essentially stripped of all its nutrients, leaving behind this sticky, gluey substance that can wreak havoc on our digestive systems.
Oh, wow.
They even cite studies linking it to weight gain and all sorts of digestive issues.
So it's not just about empty calories. It's
Yeah.
actually causing harm.
Right.
Yikes.
Yeah.
What are some of the alternatives they suggest?
Instead of refined sugar, they recommend minimally processed sweeteners like jaggery,
Okay.
and for maida, opting for whole wheat flour or exploring the wonderful world of millets.
Swapping out those refined culprits for healthier options.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's next on our Satvic journey?
Speaking of millets, that brings us to the next big habit, embracing a plant-based diet. Now, this is a hot topic these days.
Yes.
What's the Satvic perspective on plant-based eating?
The book dives into the numerous benefits of plant-based diets,
Okay.
citing studies showing they can actually reverse chronic illnesses like heart disease and diabetes.
Wow.
It's not just about prevention, it's
Uh.
about healing.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people worry about getting enough protein when they think about going plant-based,
Right.
especially with Indian cuisine.
Yeah. That's a common concern.
Yeah.
But the authors address it head-on, emphasizing that typical Indian meals are already packed with protein from lentils, grains, and veggies. They even dedicate a section to debunking this protein myth.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
So it's not about deprivation.
Right.
About choosing nutrient-rich, plant-based sources that are already staples in our kitchens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And beyond the health benefits, the book also touches on the ethical aspect of plant-based eating, discussing the sentience of animals and the impact of meat consumption on our mental and emotional well-being.
So it's about considering the bigger picture,
Yeah.
the impact our food choices have on the world around us.
Exactly. They suggest taking baby steps,
Okay.
like gradually reducing meat intake or trying out meat-free days.
Mm.
It's about finding what works for you and making gradual changes.
It's a journey, not a race.
Right.
Okay, what's the next habit they highlight?
This one's all about prioritizing sleep.
Ah, yes, the cornerstone of good health. But they don't just talk about the number of hours, do they?
Nope. They delve into the science of sleep,
Okay.
explaining how deep sleep is crucial for our brains to cleanse themselves and enhance cognitive function.
Right.
They talk about the dangers of chronic sleep deprivation and its link to a host of health issues.
I bet our constant screen time doesn't help either.
You got it. They talk about how the blue light emitted from our devices messes with melatonin production,
Oh.
which is our body's natural sleep hormone.
So it's not just about carving out enough time for sleep,
Yeah.
but also creating the right environment for quality rest.
Exactly. They suggest minimizing screen time in the hours leading up to bed
Okay.
and sticking to a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends.
So we've got intercleansing with early dinners,
Mhm.
nourishing ourselves with living food, ditching sugar and maida, embracing a plant-based diet, and prioritizing deep sleep.
Yeah.
5 down, 2 to go. What are the final 2 habits that the Satvic Revolution explores?
The last two habits kind of shift focus from the physical to the more intangible aspects of well-being.
Right.
They delve into the importance of nurturing relationships and living a life of purpose.
It's fascinating how they tie it all together, showing how these habits are interconnected.
Yeah.
It's not just about what we put into our bodies,
Right.
but also about how we nurture our minds and spirits.
Absolutely. And they share some truly inspiring stories in the book about real people who have experienced incredible transformations by embracing these Satvic principles.
Stories like that are so powerful.
Yeah.
They make these concepts relatable, showing that change is possible for anyone.
Exactly. They also emphasize that it's not about striving for perfection.
Right.
It's a journey of progress, not a race to the finish line.
I love that. They encourage readers to find what works for them and gradually incorporate these habits into their lives.
Yeah.
It's about creating sustainable change, not overwhelming ourselves with drastic measures.
Right. It's about making conscious choices that support our overall well-being.
Yeah.
So for our listeners who are intrigued by the Satvic Revolution, what would you say is the key takeaway?
I think the biggest takeaway is that we have the power to transform our health and our lives by making conscious choices. These 7 habits offer a practical roadmap to unlock our inner healing potential and create a life filled with vitality and joy.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we're not passive bystanders in our own lives.
Right.
We can actively shape our well-being.
Absolutely. And the Satvic Revolution is a wonderful guide on that journey.
Yeah.
It's not just a diet book. It's a holistic approach to living a more conscious, joyful, and fulfilling life.
Before we sign off, let's leave our listeners with a thought-provoking question.
Okay.
What if the food we consume is more than just fuel? What if it carries the energy of its source, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and even our spiritual well-being?
Food for thought indeed. If you're ready to embark on your own Satvic journey, we highly recommend picking up a copy of the Satvic Revolution. It's filled with in-depth explanations, delicious recipes, and inspiring stories to guide you along the way.
Until next time, happy reading and happy eating.